Let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think is the main antagonist of Dork Deception, not Dark Deception, Dork Deception story that we're playing? The Shattered Ring arc. Is it Doug Hauser? Maybe. Is it Malik? Maybe. Is it even Surprise Beers? Maybe. But what if I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that there is another antagonist, the big boss of all of the Nightmare Realms and all of the elite demons, and not even Malik comes close to that sucker, and that is none other than Demon God. Hold your horses, because today's video we're gonna explore who the freaking fuck is this latecomer talking about some I am Demon God. Why is he out here trying to make these little girls like Tammy's write poems, these nasty poems, some dark black magic voodoo stuff for him or for itself? We don't know. But this is the video for that. What is up, YouTube? It's a boy right here. Today we're going to talk about Demon God, aka one of the main antagonists that is going to lead up to the sequel of Dark Deception. You heard me right. I'm not making these words up. These are coming officially from Vincent Linux, the creator of Dark Deception himself. Although he would disagree, he's going to be like, I am no creator of Dark Deception. I am creator of Dark Deception. Now, I'm trying to balance because the subject today is heavy. We don't have much information, but from what we've got are all circumstantial evidences and theories. So without wasting any time, let us jump into it. So this entity, Demon God, ladies and gentlemen, is an entity that came out of nowhere, literally. First discovered in Dark Deception Fortnite map of all places, when they had Easter eggs for the upcoming stuff and whatnot. We had Dark Star poster. We talked about it in details as well. Then we also had other stuff, but this was the key, the biggest thing, and that was the Tammy Hauser poem. Now, there are still some speculations surrounding it being Tammy, but if you look at game files and whatnot, it's kind of looking that it's Tammy Hauser. We didn't got much time to break down what this poem is actually saying, so let's break down the poem and then talk about everything we know so far about Demon God and why this is such an important thing. A lot of people are not talking about it because, guys, it is the main and the biggest demon out there. So let's see what this poem has to say. The first one, they say, lost in darkness where silence reigns, and ancient evil stirs, the realm it stains. Now think of all the fantasy media that you've ever seen, right? And start imagining an entity that was so powerful. I'm not saying it was casted away or something, but just stick with me and imagine. And start imagining a monster or an entity. Let's not even a monster, just an entity in general. A legend, so to speak. Someone that is so powerful, yet nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows that even if they exist or not, because it is a legend. And a legend that sounds so powerful, that sounds so scary, that has a history with this nightmare realm. Let's keep on going. A moon leaks blood. All hope dies, for soon the Demon God will rise. Imagine something must have happened so crazy that they had to quote-unquote cast away this god, this demon. They had to put chains on him, so to speak. Now you might have wondered, Smack, you kind of contradicted yourself here. If it's a god, how can they do that? How can they chain it, you know? Just stay with me, ladies and gentlemen. His breath, a chill that kills the light. I don't have to even explain this. His voice, a whisper of endless night. More so metaphoric rather than whenever he actually spews something, it kills the light or whatnot. Maybe. And then they finally ended with, prepare, O mortals, for doom's embrace, for the Demon God returns to claim his place. Let's dial back a little bit and let's go back to chapter 4 when they actually started revealing this Nightmare Realms and they started revealing these demons and elites and whatnot. And let's connect this poem. Then we realized that it's actually a lot deeper and multi-layered than we first thought. We thought Malik is the only demon, and we thought fears and some of these monsters are the only victims. Now I say victims in quotation because there's a lot of stuff going on over there. But then chapter 4 gave it such history that it kept on expanding. Now it's then confirmed later in the Q&A that Demon God is one important enemy for Dark Deception chapter 5. It was also confirmed that the 4 generals of Malik, that would be Lucky, the Rabbit, Mama Bear, Puppet King, and the Dark Star, they're all aware of Demon God. But only these few monsters, only these ones like Malik and his 4 generals, or maybe some of the other elite demons like Malik. It was then confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that this Demon God stuff, whether it be his lore, whether it be his actual arrival, whether it be his motivations or actual actions that'll actually help us transition from Dark Deception 1 to Dark Deception 2's story and lore and world and history and universe. The Shattered Ring in and of itself is related to Pierce only, right? And then we know that her story related to Doug Hauser and Malik is gonna wrap up in this one. Does that mean Doug Hauser's story is gonna wrap up in this game as well? Most likely. But it's gonna leave, of course, Malik's story's door to stay open. I mean, he's one of the demons. Of course, his story is not gonna end here. Could happen, but it is one of my predictions going forward that Malik's story is gonna, kind of not continue, but it's like it's not gonna be the one where his story is completely complete. He's got his own Malik archives and whatnot. But in Dark Deception 1, this story, the whole plot is gonna wrap up, and then the Demons God story and arc is gonna lead us into Dark Deception 2. Now, does that mean that he'll be a boss? Does that mean, ladies and gentlemen, that we're gonna have to face him? It's a mixed bag in my humble personal opinion. We know that Nightmare Realm is going to be explained completely in Chapter 5. There's a lot of things that's going to be explained. It is also confirmed that Demon God is the highest ranking demon above other elites and even above Malik. And by the way, just going to point this out there, this wooden creature is not Demon God. We have not seen him, we have not heard him, so just going to put it out there that we have yet to see him, we have yet to hear him speak at all. And one more important thing, that there will be hints related to Demon God in the upcoming trailers. But coming back to the topic at hand, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that because there is an order in the Nightmare Realm, in the Nightmare World, right? And all these demons, they know their place, they know their territories, and as long as they keep doing like bringing mortals, making deals with them, and the business is running, there's an order, there is a control, right? That control is what we're gonna mess with when I say us, both Pierce and Doug Hauser in Chapter 5. The way I think Demon God's story is gonna open up is us messing up with that order. Now, I'm not saying it's exactly this, I'm saying it's somewhat like it's borderline of this whole thing. Us doing something that leads us to learning about Demon God, other characters learning about Demon God, those who are not aware of him, and those who are aware of him, like Malik and his four generals, getting scared that, hey, we messed up. And now he's coming. We might even use that we've learned about Demon God. It might even be the sole cause and reason for Malik's eventual defeat and eventual Demon God's arrival. I think one of the other reasons, again, we don't know much about Demon God. Is he an entity in of itself, or does he have other like eyes or other, puppets? For all we know, these demons like Malik and co could be his puppets. He could be controlling them, he could be seeing through them, and now that he's realizing that there is a greater threat to our control, to our world, maybe that enables his return. Because if you go back to the poem, it says, "Prepare, O mortals, for doom's embrace, for the Demon God returns to claim his place." There is an other way that I think this could end up happening. What if all these demons like Malik and all these other stuff, the way they have this order and control is by, let's say back in the past, all the way like years, hundreds of millennials years ago, right? All these demons, they came together, put up a plan to subdue and hold the Demon God so that it doesn't rampage, destruction and whatnot. In order to stop him, or to stop at least his whatever he was doing back in the day, back in that time, all these demons maybe made a deal that, hey, let's work together, subdue him, and then you can have this territory, I can have this. Again, it's just a borderline thing, right? And us defeating Malik breaks that chain, breaks that cycle, and this opens up the shackles, not literal, metaphorical shackles that are on Demon God. And then he slowly gets set for his arrival. I think that could also play out. You can see where I'm going with this, right? It's a pretty rough theory, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with either of them happening. I don't think we're gonna face him. I think we might get to see him. We might even learn about him. But I don't think we're gonna get to face him. We know there are some kaiju monsters in this, but I don't think it has anything to do with Demon God. And specifically the fact that his story is gonna lead us into Dark Deception sequel, I don't think they're gonna bring a brand new antagonist and then just such a potential and then to waste it in just one chapter. That's why I think either we become the reason for his eventual escape and his eventual return, or he is the reason that we get to escape. That could also be a possibility. But we're just gonna have to wait and see for the trailers as we get to learn more. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. And we're also gonna make a separate video on Dark Deception, the sequel that the info that we've gathered so far from the beginning till now, and we're gonna make a video on that. What do you think about Demon God? What are your thoughts and theories down in the comments below? Let me know as we get closer to the release of eventual Chapter 5. Theories are ramping up, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for it. Susu for more 100K. I'll see you in the next one.